Hey, what's up, everybody? It is Amrinder Singh, and today we will learn how the verbs going to change in present continuous tense. So basically, we are gonna use the same basic verbs we are using in a recent beginner podcast episodes, right? Or beginner lessons, because you need to understand how these verbs change. And today I'm going to talk about how three, four ways to make a continuous tense. All right. You can pick probably one, only one, maybe two, and you don't need to use all types of present continuous tense. Just pick one, which one is easier for you. And another thing, well, you need to probably understand all three, four ways, because when somebody is speaking, it depends on their accent, on their area, and they could be speaking their way, right? Their style or their accent, the way they make continuous tense. So that's why you need to understand all these, right? So another thing, if you are completely beginner, so these are the lessons for beginner. You need to understand the basic structure, right? The basic structure of the Punjabi language, how it's being used. Like, first, you also need to look at the verbs, how the verb is being changed in present, future, stuff like that. How they change according to pronouns, or maybe on according to the object, masculine, feminine, these kind of stuff like a matter in Punjabi, all right? For those people, like if you are hanging around with Punjabi people most of the time, in your day, and most of the time you're around those people and you're listening to Punjabi all the time, probably if that's the situation, you don't need to learn these rules. You will learn Punjabi automatically if you just start talking and try to understand them. Yeah, so if you are spending most of the time with the Punjabi people, but if you want to learn Punjabi, but you are not around Punjabi people much, maybe for 1 hour, whatever. So that time you need to understand this kind of stuff. So it would make a little bit easier for you to understand the Punjabi language. Because listen, uh, probably you also mm, see some people like they don't know the language, the foreign language. When they visit in that country, start living in that country, they learn the language even without learning this kind of stuff, the basic structure, grammar, because they just learn by listening, because they're listening all the time, they're living in that language. So yeah, you could also do that. But if it's another situation for you, right? So in that situation, you need to learn some basic stuff. Learn some basic stuff and try to understand that and practice those basic stuff. When you will be able to become a fluent in that basic stuff. What I mean by fluent means you pick some basic verbs, right? Learn some vocabulary and just try to make sentences in all situations, and practice of speaking, right? When you practice of speaking, you would notice you would become like a fluent in those sentences. So what it will do, like when you would be listening to somebody, when they were using this basic stuff, basic sentences, you would able to understand in the conversation, even they're speaking fast, right? And yeah, these basic like a sentences, probably if you're watching a movie, whatever, you would notice, because they are very regular sentences. Everybody speaks most of the time during the day, so it would help you to understand the language. After that, you can expand your language, right? Or it also depends on you what kind of people or what kind of the stuff you're talking. Like if you are like a let's say you are working with the Punjabi people in somewhere else, right? And what you need to do is you need to recognize what kind of talks you do. you talk most of the time about your work, right? So then try to learn the vocabulary, the verbs around that system. Mostly you talk about, right? So it would help you to become a fluent in that particular area because that's the thing you most of the time talks. That's what matter more, right? So then it's better to learn that specific area. After that, you can expand your vocabulary, your like all the sentences you want to speak slowly. All right. So that's the first part. All right. So let's get started. So when you make a present continuous, all right. So in this tense, the verb structure like we were using in a recent lessons like the verbs like pina, khana, khidna, karna, stuff like that, right? So in this situation, in this tense, it's going to be like a reha at the end, right? So verb if it's khidna, it's there's no na at the end, right? Not khidna, not karna, right? So it's can be like a khid reha, kar reha, all right? So basically, if you go look at the first lesson when I like I taught you some words, right? Go on that page and see how I was telling you the verbs, basically the vocabulary, like karna, pina, right? When you look at that those verbs, so what you need to do is you just need to cut off the na sound. Like if it's karna, there's a no na, it's only kar, all right? If it's khedna, there's a no na sound and it's khed, right? Khed na, khed na, all right? Just you need to eliminate na at the end. Just keep first letters, all right? Pina is only P, not na. Khana, there's a no na, it's kha, all right? Uh, Dekhna, right? There's a no na, it's dekh, all right? That's what you need to do. And after that, you need to write reha, all right? मैं टीवी देख रहा हूँ, all right? मैं चाय पी रहा हूँ, all right? मैं खेड रहा हूँ, all right? मैं रोटी खा रहा हूँ, all right? So you can notice that's how we make continuous tense. Now this one I'm telling you like a reha, right? You won't hear it much when we are talking. But the thing about this tense, this thing, reha, is used in all over the Punjab. As is very rare when we making the sentences. These kind of sentences. I think every area, maybe when we make continuous tense, maybe the 10% sentences people use like that the way reha. But the thing is, it's like a common all over the Punjab. All right, but so like my area. So I'm gonna tell you first the Malwa accent, the way we make the sentences in present continuous, right? All right. So I wouldn't say like मैं टीवी देख रहा हूँ, right? I will say मैं टीवी देखी जाना, right? देखी जाना. So thing with this is the verb like देखना. Before we just eliminate na, we say देख. Now in Malwa accent we use e sound like a देखी, right? खेडना, खेडी, पीना, right? Pina is going to be like a p, same because already e sound. Karna is going to be a curry, all right? So it's basically the difference is like before we were just keeping the kar, right? मैं काम कर रहा, but we say मैं काम करी जाना. So in Malwa accent, the verb we make a feminine sound like a khedi, kari, dekhi with every pronoun. Don't worry about that, right? The all verb is going to be like that, like a khedi, kari, khai, pi, and like Lay, they, right? Lana, right? Lana means take something or get something. So it's going to be a lay, right? So that's the Malwa accent. So the thing you would notice, we add like a jai, something like Mac no, no, it's going to be Janna at the end, like Mac Hidi Janna, Mac TV Dekhi Janna, right? The thing with like if you're a girl, you say Mac TV Dekhi Janni. It's Janni for girl, for guys Janna, right? So that's the Malwa accent. I also talked about before, like in my other episode. If you try to find, you're gonna find those ones. I also talk about those ones. But the thing with those ones, I will try to tell you like how to make sentence, how we speak continuous tense. Well, today I'm gonna tell you like how these verbs going to be changed in like a present continuous tense, right? So this was the way we talk, right? So when I'm speaking continuous tense, so most of the time this is the way I'm gonna say sentences. The like mostly we see in the books like kar rahe hain, stuff like that. We use it very rarely. Definitely we use it. Like for example, if I am explaining something, I'm trying to be more clear. So that time probably some sentences I will speak the way reha, but it's very rarely. And we use this one the rehaven mostly in negative sentences, right? So okay, if you ask me like, are you watching TV, right? If I'm watching TV, I will say, हाँ मैं TV देखी जाना. This is the my natural sentence, the way I will say, हाँ मैं TV देखी जाना. But if I'm not watching a TV, I will say like ना मैं TV देख नहीं रहा, alright? ना मैं TV देख नहीं रहा. I could say that. It's kind of little seems formal. In normal, I will say ना देखदा नहीं, right? ना देखदा नहीं. So grammatically, if you check the grammatically, this is not the present continuous tense. ना मैं देखदा नहीं, but we use it in as a continuous tense to describe the activity in colloquial way. All right. Anyway, I'll describe the negative sentences when we are gonna make the negative sentences, because most of the time when we make the negative sentences, even we make the negative sentences in future, even make we present, so it's going to be the same sentence we use in present, in future. I'll talk about that in another lesson. Anyway, now keep in mind the way I'm telling you the verb is going to be changed. All right. So this way, when we put reha, it's very rarely. Mostly in Malwa, we say kari jana, khedi jana. Now let's move to the other accent like the wabba, madja. All right. I'm not sure they are a little different. I think maybe they both speak the same. Like they said dea. All right. मैं खेडन दिया, मैं देखन दिया. Now the thing is, the verb when we were like the verbs were like a pina, khedna, karna, stuff like that, right? So what they do, they don't eliminate the na sound like karna. They don't eliminate that one. They only drop the a sound instead of like a karna. They just say karna, right? There's a difference, karna and karna, karna, karna. All right. So that's how they make the verbs in continuous tense. For example, they will say like मैं TV देखन दिया, मैं TV देखन दिया. All right. The verb is देखन, not देखना. It's देखन. मैं TV देखन दिया. All right. So this is their accent. That's how they make the continuous tense. मैं टीवी देखन दिया, मैं चाह पीन दिया, मैं रोटी खान दिया, मैं काम करन दिया. Right? This is the way they speak. I think also mostly in Pakistan, this is the way the people speaks. So, all right. So this is the way they speak. And if it's girl, she was saying like मैं टीवी देखन रही हूँ, ਮੈਂ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਨ ਡਈ ਹਾਂ, ਮੈਂ ਚਾਹ ਪੀਣ ਡਈ ਹਾਂ, all right? It's a ding for girl, dia for guy, all right? So, but they also speak like a reha. It's very rarely same as we do. We mostly speak like a khedi yana, kari yana, or sometimes we also use reha, as you see in the books, but it's very rarely, all right? Now, so now you learn three ways the way we make sentences and continuous. There's another way I heard some people make sentences. So what they do, they make like pya at the end. They like a make sentence and end with pya like, and the verb is also like a is like a like if they wanna say I'm playing, they will say मैं खेलदा ਪਿਆ, ਮੈਂ ਖੇਡਦਾ ਪਿਆ, ਮੈਂ TV ਦੇਖਦਾ ਪਿਆ, ਮੈਂ ਰੋਟੀ ਖਾਂਦਾ ਪਿਆ. Alright, some people do it. I think these kind of people is rarely, but I know that some people speak like that. Now, in this case, if you see the verbs are changing, all right, the verb is like a khedna, karna, dekhna, right? What they do, they eliminate the na sound at the end, they put da sound, all right? If it's khedna, which means playing, khedna, right? So they don't say khedna, so they say khedda, right? They make khedda, all right? Like pina is not pina, it's pinda, all right? It's not dekhna, it's dekhda in present continuous tense, all right? So they will make sentences like मैं TV देखदा ਪਿਆ, मैं रोटी ਖਾਂਦਾ ਪਿਆ, all right? मैं ਚਾਹ ਪੀਂਦਾ ਪਿਆ, something like that. Now, so you see, there's a four-way. Probably there would be few more. I don't know. I don't remember. For me, like for us, like a Punjabi native speaker, if somebody is making sentences and continuous tense in different way, we can recognize. But I think most of the time, only there's four ways. All right. So let's overview the verbs. All right, how they change. Okay, the first one, the textbook type, I told you. So in textbook type, it's reha at the end when we finish the sentence, and the verb is basically it's going to drop the na sound. All right, karna becomes kar, khedna becomes khed. Right, khed rahe hain, kar rahe hain. Right, so it's in this situation we drop the na sound na. All right, in Malabar accent, what we do, we also drop the na sound. All right, there's a no na sound, there's no khedna, right? It's khed, but we don't say khed, we also make it like a e sound, like a khedi, de khi kari, right? That's how the verb structure is going to be. मैं khedi jana, मैं kari jana, stuff like that, all right? At the end, it's going to be jana or jani, right? मैं खेडी जाना, मैं खेडी जानी, and stuff like that, all right? Now, when we say मैं खेडी जाना or jani, we only use with like a first pronoun and the second pronoun. First pronoun means I, we, right? Second means you. When we make these kind of pronouns, basically in Punjabi it is मैं, ਅਸੀਂ, ਤੂੰ, ਤੁਸੀਂ, all right? So that time we use jana at the end. When it's O third pronoun, right? O for he, she, it. That time we don't say jana, we say janda. Like I will say मैं खेडी jana. But if I want to like a he is playing, I will say O खेडी janda. Not das and janda. It's not jana. All right. If you wanna listen, there's another episode on my podcast. I'm not sure what episode is. If you go and check, probably there would be a title like how we make sentences in continuous tense. Maybe that one. Maybe you say like a how we use like a Janna or Johnny, stuff like that. I don't remember the title, but I know I make an episode about it. If you look those ones, you can find. All right. So I explain a lot better there as well. All right. So this is the Malwa way. So that's how we say मैं खेडी जाना, मैं TV देखी जाना. All right. If you notice, the verb is khedi, not khedna. is dekhi, not dekhna. All right. So uh, in another accent, like a Majha accent, like in the Waba accent, so they say khedana. They don't say khedana, they say khedana. All right. What they do, they don't drop the na sound, they only drop a sound. All right. Instead of like I say khedana, they say khedan. All right. मैं खेडन दिया मैं खान दिया मैं TV देखन दिया. All right, that's how they speak. And some people say मैं खेडदा पिया मैं करदा पिया. Right, so what they do, they drop the na sound, they replace with da sound. Kheda. Right, they don't say like a dekhna, which means watch or see. They don't say dekhna, they say dekhda in a present continuous tense. All right, मैं देखदा पिया मैं खेडदा पिया. For girls, she was meant देखदी पईयां मैं खेडदी पईयां. All right. So this is the way some people make sentences in a continuous tense. All right. Keep in mind, there's four ways you will hear if you listen to Punjabi people. There's four ways. I think this one, the khirda and dekhta mein, is very rare. Probably you won't hear much. Most of the time, you would hear the Malwa accent like a Makediana, Korean, or you would like hear or listen like my hidden down, my dekhan down, stuff like down, right? Or girl is ding, ding, ding. And in Malwa is janna at the end. मैं आ करी जाना खेडी जाना दिखी जाना. For girl करी जानिया दिखी जानिया, right? So main two things are very important to recognize a continuous tense. Or it's going to be down at the end or ding in a Malwa accent, janna or janni or janda, right? So the reha you learn in the books, all right, it's rare. We use it. I'm not saying we don't use it. We use it, but it's very rarely. All right. So probably listen. I would say reha. I would like, let's say if I'm explaining something, right? Like I'm trying to be a little more clear. I'm like I'm giving advice. Like let's say if I'm telling somebody to if you want to come to my village, you need to come to my village on this route. All right, I'm telling you, I probably say ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਧਰਲੇ ਪਾਸੇ ਦੀ ਆ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ, right, like you are just common right now, you're talking to me on the phone, probably I will say ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਧਰਲੇ ਪਾਸੇ ਦੀ ਆ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ. In that situation probably I will say ਰਹੇ ਹੋ. All right, so but it's very rare. So this one, the reha is all over the Punjab. They also use in like a Majha Tawaba area. But the thing is, it's very rarely people use it. All right. So this one, now it's up to you which one you want to choose. Right. If you just want to stick to reha, yeah, you can. There's nothing wrong with that. But you need to keep in mind the way we speak. Right. So it's easy to recognize. Just recognize at the end, right? If it's kari jana, khedi jana, or karan diyan, dekhan diyan, stuff like that, it's counting down. All right. If you even don't want to learn that way, it's feel a little bit harder for you because in the books, if you are learning, you learn like a reha, stuff like that. All right. So now what you can do, the verbs I give you, if you listen my first lesson, I give you something like 20 verbs, right? Now, how you can change them, how you can make sentences in a continuous tense, all right? So you can also try all four ways, right? Like probably you don't need to practice all four ways. Basically, you can recognize if somebody is speaking continuous tense from the end, like it's dia or janna, something like that. If you just want to stick to one, all right, whatever, then you can go through those verbs and see how they are is like being pronounced. Then change those verbs the way I told you, right? Like you can drop the na sound, right? And like if it's kidna, it's going to be a kid. You drop the na sound. That's how the verb is going to be. Like it's only going to be kid. All right. Khedna, which means playing, is only going to be kid in present continuous tense if you are making sentence with a reha. So if you look all the verb, you can do the same. If you want to make sentence, if you have any verb you want to make, let's say you want to say banana, which means make something. If you want to say I'm making a tea, all right, it's making a tea. So you look at the verb on, it's a banana. You only know the banana. Now how you are gonna change this verb in continuous tense? All right, banana, banana. Now what will you do? The first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna eliminate the na sound. All right, banana. You will say मैं बना रहा, it's बना. Now it's only बना. मैं चाय बना रहा, right? That's the structure how you gonna make, right? That's how you're gonna change the verbs. Pronoun, instead of banana, you say bana. Now, if you wanna make in like a Malay accent, so what you need to do is, so you just need to make it E sound, right? You just need to make it like a feminine sound, right? Instead of saying like a बना रहे हैं, you need the verb is going to be a बनाई, all right? मैं चाय बनाई चाहना. If you're a guy, if you're a girl, मैं चाय बनाई चाहनी. All right? In other accent like a Maja accent or the Waba, you say pronoun down, because in Maja or Maban we make the down sound. We only drop a sound, not na sound. It's going to be pronoun, not a pronoun. Is a pronoun. All right. So basically, what I'm giving you right now, I'm just giving you the idea how you can change the verbs in continuous tense, and you can make these sentences by your own. All right. I want to give you whole power so you can make the sentences with any verb, right? Even you just learn a new verb, and now you're gonna make the sentences on that, based on that verb in present continuous tense. All right. So I told you all these 3-4 ways people make sentences in continuous tense. So what you need to do is when you are gonna learn more vocabulary, the verbs. So you can figure one the way you wanna make the sentences, and according to that, change the verb that way. All right. So if you think you are getting the value from this podcast and you wanna support this podcast, you can support it through PayPal or Patreon. Links are in the description. Everything will be appreciated. If you are not able to support this podcast, then you can give it to 5-star if you're listening it on Spotify or Apple Podcast. Because if you give this podcast to 5-star, then Apple Podcast or Spotify recommend this podcast to the more people. So it would also help this podcast to grow more. At the end, if you want to learn about Punjabi pronouns, then check out my ebook. Link is in the description. So I hope you enjoyed the lesson and learned something new today. I'll be back with another lesson in another day.